it.
In 2007, it would have been nerve-wracking for Alessandro Gualtieri to start his own perfume house. I mean, just the audacity of actually doing something like this. Today in 2020, there's so many niche perfumery houses that are out there, so many different offerings that he would have been in good company. But back in 2007, it was really dominated by the big designer houses, the Dior's, the Chanel's, etc. So the audacity of thinking that he could come out with his own perfume, create something which at that stage, niche perfumery really hadn't hit its strides, it would have been, I'm gonna say it would have been a bit scary. So it makes, to me, it makes perfect sense that the very first fragrance that he released was called Duro. Duro in Italian or even in Spanish means hard. It's about male masculinity. It's about the notes in the actual fragrance are very masculine leaning. The other part is about male sexuality. It's about virility. If you look at some of the imagery that's being created around Duro from Nasomatto, it's very much about, well, the term hard, I guess in a sexual context, well, you know where that's going. The classic image of the Rolling Stones cover art, and it's, I'm gonna say it was Mick Jagger, and you see the jeans and you see a male appendage, you know, in the jeans. Well, there's a similar image, but it's the actual bottle or the squarish bottle of Duro that's in the jeans. The part that I want to draw on is that I'm going to say, and again, I haven't spoken to Alessandro, so I'm making a leap here. The way I like to use fragrance, if I know that I'm going into a difficult meeting, I will choose a fragrance that I know is going to produce a level of confidence in me. Being that Alessandro was taking a huge leap forward, I'm going to say that this was his signature scent. This was about determination. This was about, I can do this thing. I can set up my business. I can create this thing. I can break out from the system that he was actually in, and he, even in his own words, at the time when he was working for this big multinational as a perfumer, he felt that his creativity was being sucked out of him. The fragrances that Alessandro wanted to create, you'll find that each one of these perfumes are unique, different, and again, you gotta put it into context. This is back in 2007. Today, we are spoiled for choice. And so, yeah, we can say, oh, this smells a little bit like this, a little bit like that. But in 2007, it exploded on the market. Let's smell this guy. I mentioned earlier that I believe that every person who loves perfume needs to have a Nasomatto in their range. So the series I'm going to create is really just about what are each of these fragrances, and see if it can pique your interest, and then you choose. You go out, explore, and see if it actually works for you. But my expressions are gonna betray me when there are some of them in the collection that I'm like, oh my gosh. This one here is a glorious masculine scent. Overall, the fragrance is a woodsy, leathery, spicy as it dries down. On that opening, I'm getting some kind of boozy note, a whiskey or something of that nature. It's super inviting. So one thing that Alessandro doesn't do, which is I think pretty awesome, he doesn't disclose the notes that are in the fragrance. And again, back in 2007, people were like, what, you know, what's in here? And he's like, either you like it or you don't like it. You need to make your own opinion, but don't get caught up on the pyramid. Don't get caught up on the notes that are in there. Either you like it or you don't like it. Best way to describe this particular fragrance is getting into a Maserati. You know, the leather, the power that machine has, the moment that you turn it on, the grunt of the engine, the luxury that you're surrounded by. This is, for me, Duro. This is just a wonderful, masculine, confident, just an awesome, awesome fragrance. When it comes to its longevity, it sounds like I might be exaggerating to say that this is a 12+ hour, but I'm telling you it's a 12+ hour. So I'm gonna say 7+. All right, 7+ hours, you're gonna get this fragrance. For me, the next morning, I am still smelling Duro. When it comes to its sillage, I put this in a moderate category. I find that it has a wonderful aura around me with the fragrance. The moment, and I find this is true of all the Nasomattos, the moment that I begin to sweat, or, I guess I'm increasing my heart rate, so my body is generating a bit more heat, the fragrance blossoms again on me. So, and this is true of Duro. So if I'm doing something, if I don't know, go for a brisk walk or whatever it may be, all of a sudden I'm just popping with this wonderful fragrance. If you like the sound of Duro, Fragrance Artisans are partnering with the Niche Fragrance Collector. NFC5 is the code. You can get 5% off Duro or any of the other fragrances within their range. Thanks everyone. We'll look forward to seeing you on the next episode as we discover the rest of the Nasomatto range.
Yeah.